Joining us now in studio is Ron Goldstein. He's a humanitarian representative for a group called IsraAid. He was a keynote speaker at the Capitol Jewish Museum last night. Thank you for joining us on what must be one of the worst days of your life. You say you spoke with the victims right before this horrible incident. Tell us about the conversation.
Yeah, so I met this beautiful couple few minutes before they left the event, after I finished my speak. Just ordinary discussion in this kind of a cocktail event, you know, who they are, we introduce ourselves, I know people they know, so it looked like two people in the beginning of their career really looking for the future. And you know, they came to, I work for IsraAid.
What is IsraAid?
IsraAid is an Israeli humanitarian organization, global organization. We work in 12 countries. We have humanitarian operations in Ukraine, in South Sudan, in Guatemala. We've been in Afghanistan, here in the US. And since October 7, we also operate inside Israel. And actually the event, it's ironic because it was an event about how humanitarian cooperation can actually help to build bridges and mitigate those gaps between, you know, different cultures. And I was together with a colleague from Multi-Faith Alliance, it's an American organization. And actually we also, you know, delivering aid to Gaza as Israelis. Yep. And it's very important for us as well, so.
Yeah, I mean, Sarah Milgram was a volunteer for a group called Tech2Peace. It provides entrepreneurial training to young Palestinians and Israelis alongside conflict dialogue. The CEO of Tech2Peace says Sarah, quote, came here to promote peace. Yaron Lashinsky, one of his friends, says he was passionate about diplomacy. This reminds me of the fact that so many of the victims on October 7th, 2023, so many of the innocent Jews killed by the terrorists of Hamas were peaceniks, were people who lived in the kibbutzim right near Gaza, who employed Palestinians, who protested the Netanyahu government, who wanted peace, and they were slaughtered.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the nature of such a conflict, you know, for so many years. And I also have friends. I've been in Israel in October 7 with my family and texting to people in the shelters in the south, in kibbutzim, people who, you know, friends of mine. So you can imagine they also somehow related to human rights or humanitarian aid issues. And it's devastating. However, I think as a humanitarian organization, we are, you know, we're neutral, we're apolitical. We try to help people they are, whoever they are. So we will continue to do that, you know, and hopefully we will be able to help international organizations to work with us, together with the Israeli authorities, to find gaps, to keep the humanitarian principles. And, you know, people should not in DC, not in Israel, not in Gaza, be afraid to walk around and do such events, you know. This kind of event happening in DC probably almost every night, you know, and the fact that it was targeted as an anti-Semitism act, it's terrible.
IsraAid, your organization, wrote about the tragedy last night. They said the attendees, quote, gathered in the interest of finding practical solutions to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and showing that working together is the only way forward for all the people in the region. The brutal and tragic irony that such an event, motivated by humanitarian principles, was targeted for more violence is heartbreaking. Before last night, did you ever feel unsafe spreading the word of IsraAid?
Not really. We do walk sometimes in some places under the radar because we know that our Israeli identity can be disadvantaged. But sometimes, you know, when the operation is finished, we do reveal our identity. As Israel, as a Israeli who lives here, I never felt any this kind of problem. I must say, I'm also a student in campus here in Georgetown, and I never felt any problem with that. Obviously, there are protests, you know, but you know, I do kind of add one time when I saw an anti-Semitism incident, but personally not.
Ron Goldstein, thank you so much. I'm so sorry about what happened. May Yaron and Sarah's memories be a blessing.
And just want to, you know, send their families all the condolences.
Yeah, so horrible. Thank you so much for being here.